Grant Cardone is the best-selling author of The 10X Rule, and Forbes called him the #1 marketer to watch. He went from being a kid labeled with ADD and almost dying of a drug overdose to becoming a real estate mogul with a portfolio of $1.5 billion. And today we're going to learn his best advice on why you must have an adversary. Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself more and start your day with confidence. So good morning, I believe in you. Grab your coffee and let's do this. Over to you, Grant Cardone.
When I think about winning, dude, I don't think about stuff. I think about crushing people. Okay, I got a huge chip on my shoulder. Nobody's ever asked me about it, but it's massive. I tell you how big my chip is. My chip is like that big. Okay.
So tell me about it, man. Why is that chip so big?
I don't know why. It doesn't matter. It served me so well that
You're just good with it.
Yeah, I'm like, let's roll. Well, because there's Stallone told me this too. I interviewed Stallone in California, up in San Mateo.
Uh-huh.
He's like, Grant, you got to have an adversary. He's like, you look like one of those guys. It's like, he's like, dude, you're aggressive. I said, bro, you're Rambo.
Right.
So he's like, not really. Really, I'm Rocky. So he's like, my dark side's Rambo.
Got it.
I said, my lightest side is Rambo.
Right on.
He's like, yeah, you got to have an adversary. He's like, Arnold. He's like, if it wasn't for Arnold, Grant, I probably would not be where I'm at. He's
Really?
like, Arnold was not a friend. Arnold was a total adversary.
Got it.
We competed for roles. People compared us, So I've had a lot of that in my career.
Having an adversary makes you push harder. When you are around people who are doing more than you, it makes you want to do more as well. But if in your circle are people who have lower standards than you, then you stay exactly where you are. So Grant Cardone and I actually share the same agent, where we've got an awesome guy in New York who's booking us on speaking gigs and book deals and tours and all of those opportunities. And so when I first joined the agency, where Grant Cardone is there and Mel Robbins is there and a bunch of other people, I barely got in. The managing director there said, Evan, I'm going to take a flyer on you. You don't have the skills yet to be a good speaker to the point where I could book you out on gigs, but I love your heart and I love the believe message. And so I'm going to take a flyer on you and hopefully you can prove me right. And so like I barely got in. I was like just above pass to get in. And so then I said, okay, great. Well, what do you need me to do? What's next? Like, well, first thing is we need to work on your foundation story, and then we gotta start building up your audience. And so I said, okay, great. Let's go all in on YouTube. Who is the biggest person at the agency right now on YouTube? And he said, Grant Cardone. So I'm gonna beat Grant Cardone. That became the mission, because I almost didn't get in. Right? It's like I had to prove myself a little bit. I almost didn't get in. And so I said, I'm going to be the #1 guy on YouTube at the agency. And it took a while to get there. 3 years, I think, before I passed Grant. I can't remember exactly, but that drive, that not being good enough, that almost not getting in, that I'm going to beat this guy, gave me the extra little push. Now, it can't be the whole reason. This is where I think a lot of people will fall down. It's like, I love Grant Cardone. I want to kill Grant Cardone, right? I just spoke at his 10X event. It's a nice, friendly rivalry. And I don't know that he even sees me as a rival. I don't think maybe that didn't even cross his mind. Maybe he doesn't even care about me because he's doing all sorts of other things. So it can't get to the unhealthy place. It never got to the point where like, I want to see him lose. I just want to see me win harder. that became the goal. And once I passed Grant Cardone, then it became Gary Vee. Gary Vee was the biggest in the industry on YouTube. And so the goal became, okay, I want to pass Gary Vee on YouTube. Again, not wishing him any ill harm, not wishing that he slows down or takes time away from his channel. It actually made me sad when I was getting close to him on subscribers, and then we were coming up into the winter season, and I knew that the year before, he kind of let his foot off the gas. He went on vacation. His team posted a little bit of content, but they weren't really taking it seriously. Meanwhile, I was posting at the time 3 videos every day. Christmas videos are up. Like every day we had videos going up. And I thought, at this pace, I'm going to catch up. But if he's taking December off, it felt like a free win. It didn't feel like a win anymore. It felt like a hollow victory. And it's what actually ended up happening. Like he started slowing down to the end of the year. We passed him on subscribers. And so when we passed him, it didn't feel like a real victory. Now, Gary doesn't care about what my YouTube channel is doing publicly, right? He doesn't see me as an adversary. And I love Gary too, and I'm supporting everything he's doing, and I'm a big fan of everything he's putting out into the world. And he actually recently passed me again on YouTube, which is fantastic because now there's somebody to shoot for again. The point is to have healthy competition. The point is to have somebody who's ahead of you, who you can look to and respect and admire and say, I want to be like that. I want to catch that. Because otherwise you just stay the big fish in a small pond. And I think that's what happens to a lot of entrepreneurs. When you start getting on a personal growth journey, and entrepreneurship is the single greatest personal growth journey I think you can go on, because you're forced to morph into somebody better, the better version of yourself. Chances are your friends and your family, the people around you, now look to you, once you've had a little success, to look to you to say, well, how do I do this and how do I do that? And there's nobody pushing you anymore. Now you're the one who has all the answers, but nobody's pushing you to say, hey, you should be up here. You should be doing all this other stuff. How come you're still playing small? Most of us don't have a loving push. You might have family or friends telling you why you can't do something, or you suck, or you don't have the resources to do that. I wouldn't call that a loving push, right? It's a negative push. And so you have to fight against that. But who in your life is telling you, hey, I love you. I believe in you. You could be doing amazing things up here. What you're doing right now is playing small, because you're the biggest fish in a really small pond. And so that's where having an adversary is. That's where having some competition is good, healthy competition, to force you to get up and do more and be inspired and have the race to go off and be the best you. Okay, so how can you do it? How can you have some healthy competition? I'm going to give you 3 steps. But before that, here's a special message from Grant Cardone. Hey, man.
Evan, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
You got a book coming out, don't you?
You just came out.
Where can people get it?
Get it on Amazon, easiest spot, built to serve, right there.
Let's go, man. If you guys don't know Evan, follow Evan Carmichael. He's got a new book out, Build to Serve. Go grab it today at Amazon. Just a good dude right here.
Okay, how do we do it? How do we find the best adversary? 3 steps, let's go. Number 1 is, who is the best adversary? So you got to pick somebody. Pick somebody who you aspire to be like. For me, I like picking somebody who is not crazy, not like I'm going to be the next Elon Musk. Maybe that's even a limiting self-belief. I don't know. I like picking somebody who's, a couple years ahead of me, 3, 5, 7 years ahead of me in terms of progress. And like it's a big stretch for where I'm at right now, but it's doable. When I was at the agency, or still am, but when I started at the agency and I said, I'm gonna beat Grant Cardone, it was a stretch. It was a big stretch for me at the time, but it still felt like I can do this, like, let's go. So pick somebody who is inspirational to you, but not so big that when you look at it, like, oh, okay, I can't do that, right? It's like, it's on the edge of feasible. It's on the very edge, the very, very edge of something that you can do. Pick that person. Step number 2 is be around what they're doing. Be around what they're doing. Subscribe to their YouTube channels. Follow them on social media. Be around them, so that when you're browsing, when you're picking up books, when you're watching videos, when you're going on Instagram, you see them. And it's the reminder. It's the reminder. When you're slacking off on YouTube and just watching videos and then theirs pops up, it's a reminder that they're there working and you're slacking off right now. Let's go get to work, right? Go be around them. And then step number 3 is let it push but not consume you. The goal in life is to go and win, not to beat somebody else and push them down. again, every time I was chasing down Grant or Gary, it wasn't wishing them any ill harm. You don't want your competitor to lose and to burn and to go to zero, because now you're back in the same spot of being the big fish in the small pond. It's about you getting better and growing and learning. And so making it a priority, but it's not your top priority, right? The mission, the vision of what you're trying to build is still number one. For me, it was still spreading belief. It was still number one. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not doing what I'm doing just to beat Grant Cardone, just to prove my parents wrong. My parents were awesome, but for you, don't do anything just to show somebody else, right? That could be a motivating factor that could drive you to push harder when you don't have the energy or motivation, but it can't be the number one reason why you're doing it. Now, I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and how you plan on taking action. When you schedule in what day, what time, what place you're going to take action, you have a 91% chance of following through versus just a 35% chance if you got motivated but never created your plan. And when you share your plan and you have a little bit of accountability, you're even more likely to follow through. So in the comments below, I want to know your single biggest takeaway and your plan of action to make a change in your life. Let me know. Put it below.
What powers me, it's not money, it's not ambition, it's anger. I'm one of those people, I wish there was a better way to say it, but it's vengeance. You laughed at me in high school, man. You said I wasn't going to be anything. Really? Like, watch this. Like
that's still pushing you at 56?
I hate to say it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
40 years later.
Oh, yeah, all of it. Like, my dad, he was a big money guy. I'm like, okay, you love money so much. Watch me outgross you and your whole damn family combined. And I don't even care about it. I just like achieving it. And it's one of the reasons when the agent goes, okay, 5 shows on, 1 off. I'm like, oh, no, man. No, that's a day off. You put a show in there. Like, why? Because, like, screw that, man. Watch me do it. Put 2 shows on that night. What, you think I can't? I'm just, like I said, I set up adversarial relationships. I'm not against you or anything. I'm just saying, like, I have to have something to push against, like a schedule that is like, the schedule is like Godzilla. Like, you can't finish this. I'm like, really? Man, I'm going to serve you up and eat you every day like a steak. And I just have to have that. And so I'm getting back. And it's, I think of all the people I was in bands with, I have to crush them. Everyone I grew up with, I have to powderize them.
Wow, that's such a weird motivation.
It sucks. It's immature. It's like, it's 11-year-old sandbox.
Wow.
And
but you're aware of it.
Yeah.
That which makes it even stranger because it's not something that you're just operating under. Well, you have it's controlling you and you don't understand it.
No, I quite enjoy it.
Yeah,
because it
so
gets
you
me over
use it.
Yeah, like if I'm not an actor, but I go up for acting parts. So I'm like basically going in there and winging it, and I get to go up for like really big parts. There's a little bit of trepidation knowing I'm going in there, but then I'm thinking like, oh yeah, Sony, whatever, man, line it up. And I almost like run out of my car, like, where are you at, man? And I'm not trying to impress you that I'm a tough guy, because I'm not. It just needs to be trying to tell me I can't. And that informs everything I do. Like, instead of just dialing my radio show in, I work on that sucker for like 5 hours. It has to be all hand-picked. No, that song, not that one, this one. And I make like 3 drafts of it. It's intense. It's one of the reasons why I live alone. And like, I work all the time. Like, hey, come out on this weekend. No, it's 7 p.m. on a Friday. I'm working. Like, I'm not
so you're
fun.
Just constant.
Yeah. No,
wow.
I'm not fun to hang out with.
Do you vacation ever where you just chill?
No, I can't. Intellectually and existentially, I can't understand the idea of a vacation. I make a joke on stage. I said I want to come back 10 pounds lighter with an internal parasite. I want to come back with like a scar where the spear kind of grazed me and 8 great stories and a dangerous insect in my bag. I don't want to sit on the beach and soak in the rays. I want to get sunburned by, being in the desert. And, figuring out how the sun won't try and kill me by noon. That's the Sahara. And so that's how I go about it.
So part of your motivation is actually the perception by other people of what you're doing. Like understanding that what you're doing is so undeniable. The volume that you're putting out.
And the intensity.
The intensity is so undeniable. Like, I'll show you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's so weird.
Even with people who like me, like, yay, Henry's here. I'm like, yeah, I'm here.
Check it out, bitch.
Check this out. Yeah, here's a place you won't go. And it's not that I have any aggression towards these people. I just want to burn brightly.
Yeah.
And it's not about money. It's not about I'm better than you, because I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just want to explode as much as possible. And I think to my audience, it's to their benefit. He's like, that dude's going to go out there to a place I don't want to go. And he's going to come back with 10 great photos and a story about how he nearly lost his foot. It's great. And like, put me in, coach. That's the game I want to play. That's what I go for.
If you want to change your life in the next 30 days, check out my free training right here below. Or if you want Grant Cardone's advice on how to stop making excuses, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.